come on, you bastard. Let's see. There we go. Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Acklon here. Welcome back to each one of you. Of course, if you're watching this over on YouTube, please remember to hit that like button. And also click the link in the description down below, because it is always better when it's live. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Well, I think I'm not lying. Maybe it's horrible when it's live. Maybe it's horrible when it's a VOD. Who knows? Most of you might just be falling over each other just to get away from it. I don't know. I don't know what the truth of the matter is. I just know I like streaming. I like when you guys are here live because it actually helps to influence things. It helps to change things around. So, you know, it is what it is. We're starting earlier today because my power's going off soon. Well, I say soon. It's 2.5 hours to 2.5, 3 hours. Not free, but 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that, before the power goes out. So it's not like it's the end of the world. We do have some boring crap that needs to be done, so I should probably add that. All right, yeah, that should do it. Yeah, I have a bunch of videos that I have to... So many videos. Fuck! I have so many videos that I need to upload. Hold up. Let me figure this out. When do we switch over to Twitch?
I'm Mankind Jack. I will go jump.
That was Monies? Yeah.
I do have one last...
People, quiet down. What was
Quiet
this?
down.
This was us
I have a
watching
video-
Balila. All right, so that goes. Razar, how you doing, brother? We're doing fucking Atman, so entertain yourself. What do I title this? Let's see. This could be outrageous. All right, I think that's a good title for the video. What was this video about? Now, Chris Mason is for this actually veins for the price of the new expansion. Let's take him on to Magic. I'll smash Path of Exile and listen to admin stuff. Yeah, there you go, Raza. That's exactly what I want. Musion, how you doing? Why power off soon? Planned blackout? Yes, the blackout is starting in 3 hours, but usually I switch off about like 15 minutes ahead of time. Elisha, how you doing? When I thought I can catch you early, it's boring admin stuff. What can I say? I am just a bag of secrets, right? I keep throwing you guys with curveballs. I can't just always have it be high-octane entertainment. There has to be curveballs. If all we were doing was just really cool shit the whole time, you guys would fucking hate it. Like, I have to slip in some boring admin stuff every once in a while. King Julian, thank you so much for doing something. Really appreciate that. 31 months in a row. Thank you, brother. How you doing, King Julian? Why is there a planned power blackout? What's the reason for it? AMS, South Africa. That's literally the best reason. That's the only reason. South Africa. It happens. We're probably going to be dealing with planned power outages until Sunday. At least that's their best guess right now, is that by Sunday, there should be enough generation units to stop load shedding again. That's never how it works, though, so I'd be surprised if it ends before next week. Friday, Saturday, maybe, is when we'll finally see an end to load shedding. And the sad part is that right now, Cape Town is kind of fucked, because usually in Cape Town, we don't have the same stage as the rest of the country. So if the country is on stage 2, we're on stage 1. But one of the dams where Cape Town gets a lot of hydroelectricity from, one of the pumps there broke. So they can't actually produce electricity in order to lower the stage in Cape Town. So we're kind of fucked there. Fuck you, King Julian. You asshole. Hold up. All right, that video, and then what was the last video? He's not. All right. I think this is Rush. Yeah, we'll label this as Rush. All right, that's fine for now. I can upload the rest later tonight. So should not be an issue. Should not be an issue. Lysaria, how you doing? MMO, how you doing, brother? What did you miss? Oh, I'm just doing boring admin shit. You've not missed anything. Lysaria, I can't complain. Power's going out soon, so, you know, I will complain in about 3 hours. Like, give me some time. Let me just work up to it. Right now, everything's great. Wait, who asked? Is there plan? Why? Did you pre-purchase Dragonflight yet? Jams, no. No. I will probably pre-purchase it much closer to the actual launch date. And I'm just buying the normal one, the $50 one. I'm not buying any of their other bullshit. Swanky Tiger, I have a generator. The generator is just a cock-up. So it's actually one of the reasons I need to get a battery for this whole operation. Because in order to go from the generator... So let's take, for example, today. Okay, so power goes out at 6 p.m. my time, which is in 3 hours from now. Once the power goes out, I have to... Obviously, everything goes off, so the stream stops. Then I run cables from the generator, because I can't keep the generator outside in the weather. It's going to get fucking destroyed. So it has to come in. So I have to carry it outside. Then I have to have cables basically run all the way into the house, because outside the house is like fucking far. It's like almost 15, 20 meters from where I am, and then curve and swerves as well. So I have cables running all the way up to here. I plug everything into those, and now I'm running my PC again. But then it's only for 2.5 hours, because the power tends to go sometimes 3 hours, because they can be a little bit slower at turning it back on. But okay, so now the power comes back on, which means I shut everything down again, switch off the generator, switch back to normal electricity, and now we start the stream again. So it's so much bullshit that it's just not worth it. Not right now. So what I'm looking into and what I'm trying to sort of save up for and eventually get working is a battery solution where my entire PC runs off a battery. So when the power goes off, the battery can carry my PC. I can then plug the battery into the generator so that the generator keeps the battery charged and the stream is not being interrupted. Because that way it's literally, there's no interruption in the stream. Right now, the generator is there for like severe circumstances. For those of you that don't know, this happened 3-4 months ago, where again we had load shedding, so the power went off, and when they switched the power back on, they realized that all the cables had been stolen. So we had no electricity for the whole weekend. Now, during circumstances like that, the generator is obviously great, because then switch on the generator, stream for 6 hours, done dusted, no issues. Right now, the best I'm doing is just trying to stream whenever I can, you know? Whenever my country allows, basically, I'll be live and I'll sort of work my schedule around that. What's up? Long time no stream. What happened? Is it long time? I streamed last night. Does power stay off? I'd be worried about the food going bad. Swanky Tiger, most of the time, Sophia. Thank you so much for the tier 2 sub. Really appreciate that. 46 months in a row. Thank you. Most of the time, it's like 2.5, 3 hours. And then that can happen depending on the stage of load shedding. That can happen 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day if you're really unlucky. At stage 4, it's 3 times a day. So basically, you're offline for 5 to 7.5 hours every day. And then when they steal the cables, then it can be off for like a weekend plus. Back in Pretoria, when we lived there, we would often have that the substation would blow up, and then you would have no electricity for like a week. And there's nothing you can do. You can't go to the government and be like, "Hey, pay me for all the money I'm losing." They just laugh at you, right? Since you have electricity problems, which was the last book you have read? Raza, the last book I read was a psychology book by Jonathan Haidt. I finished it last week, actually. I read mostly psychological stuff, some philosophical stuff. I don't read stories, although I've been tempted now for a while to buy Lord of the Rings. No, I've read the Anti-Fragile book already. I'm trying to remember what the name is of this one. The cover is a guy, like a middle finger. I can't remember the name now. The name completely fucking escapes me. Let me just Google it quickly. Have you ever thought of moving to another country? Yeah, of course I've thought about moving to another country. Issue is, that's not easy. The Righteous Mind. Sorry, yes, that's the one. The Righteous Mind. I have it on my phone. So right now I don't have a Kindle. I should buy a Kindle. I'm reading books on my phone, which is horrible. But, you know, it's the best I have at the minute. But it's this book right here. The Righteous Mind. Really good book. Really cool book. But yeah, that's the kind of books that I read. It's the kind of books I really enjoy. I guess that it's definitely not for everyone, but you know, you make do with what you've got. So, Ams, the problem right now with moving to another country is what's the point? You know, I'm not entirely sure if there's even a point to moving to another country right now, because the whole world is falling apart. So the best option, right as things stand right now, I think would be, once everything calms down, look at which places still stand and then move there. Checo, yeah, I would not be moving to China or Russia. There's just no fucking way. Zwangy Tiger, to be fair though, should you not try to push yourself into inconvenient and uncomfortable situations? Is that not better? We were actually having this conversation just earlier today, my brother and I. When you spend your life trying to rush or chase comfort, which is what so many of us do, right? We live our lives trying to be as comfortable as possible. And the question becomes, does comfort not lead to depression? Because you so often find yourself depressed. I, for example, live an incredibly comfortable life. I try to shy away from anything that would cause me discomfort in any way, shape, or form. And I find myself very often falling into bouts of despair, bouts of depression, where, you know, things just aren't going your way, and because they're not going your way, you feel depressed. Because you feel depressed, you're doing less. Because you're doing less, you feel more depressed, and it's a fucking cycle that just destroys you. And then I have to sort of get back to reality. I did this a couple of weeks ago, where I now have a new schedule that I keep to very religiously. You know, I try to make videos every single day of my life. I try to do a Patreon stream as often as my electricity allows. And all of these schedules are uncomfortable. Sure, it would be much nicer to just wake up and do whatever the fuck. But if you wake up and do whatever the fuck, you feel depressed. So it's sort of like that you probably should push yourself as much as possible to be as uncomfortable as possible. Because I think that's where true happiness lies. You could stream at more convenient times for you and your viewers, and you wouldn't have electricity problems. That's the point. Yes, but for that, I would have to find a country that's willing to take me. The thing about Lord of the Rings is that you have to remember that Tolkien is a linguist by training, not a writer. He did give birth to the whole world-building fantasy genre, though. My brother is currently reading Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, and he is absolutely fascinated by it. Without goals, depression is inevitable, and goals, by definition, require effort, which is not comfortable. Derp, so fucking true. True that. Comfort brings about insecurities about your own competence, which leads to depression. How am I an asshole, Akko, just for a simple pre-order? I bought the Epic version, and I think Blizz could quite possibly get this X back out by the end of the year, I believe. King Julian, you're an asshole because you keep buying into the pre-order fallacy. All right, King Julian, let's lay it all out on the table, because I've seen this comment over on Twitter as well, where someone basically told me, look, bro, I know that I'm going to play this game day one. I know it. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to be playing World of Warcraft Dragonflight at day one. So why should I not pre-order the game? And then I think I should be clear before I get into anything else here. I'm not judging you for that. I think people should be able to do whatever the hell they want. It's your money. You can do with it what you want. That being said, though, there is a principled reason for why people are getting annoyed at the people who pre-order shit. And it's not unjustified. You can't feel offended because other people are getting angry at you for doing pre-orders and shit like this. Because your actions are directly fucking everyone else. Pre-order is by far one of the most disgusting things in the video game industry that isn't pay to win. So if we were to tier things, pay to win goes right at the top. But pre-orders is the most disgusting thing the gaming industry can do that isn't pay to win. Why is that? Because with pre-orders, you're effectively telling a company that you're willing to part with money even before you know what the product is. You've not even seen the product yet, and you're saying, yeah, I'll pay full price for this. How? It would be different if you've already played the beta, right? And the beta convinced you that you kind of like this and you want to pre-order. But you made a decision, a conscious decision to support the company even though you have no idea what the product is going to be. This sends a message to these companies that they can basically get away with whatever. And we see this more often these days than ever before. This never happened as often as it happens these days, where games will launch in abysmal situations, right? The game is nowhere near ready or finished. And then they fix it afterwards. Why can they fix it afterwards? Because you've already fucking paid. Right? You've already paid. So why would they care? If you kept your money until the literal day that the game goes live and you demanded to see some kind of review system, the gaming industry would change. Because suddenly game companies would start releasing their game to reviewers a week early so that those reviewers can make their reviews, get their reviews out to the public so that when the game goes live, a lot of people start buying the game because they've seen the reviews, they love the reviews, they love what they see, they're buying the game. But because you're pre-ordering, you're basically telling the gaming industry, yeah, I'm okay. You know, I don't care if the game is going to be in a good place. I don't care if the game is in a good state. I'll give you my money anyways. And the gaming industry, being completely void of any sort of morality or principles, are going to take that money, they're going to release a subpar product, and they're going to fix it in post. because you've given them the right to fix it in post. You are buying an expectation. It is the same principle as buying a house before it is built. Jordan, the thing with buying a house before it is built, though, you get the exact plans of what the house is going to look like, most likely a 3D rendering of what the house is going to look like. And if the house doesn't look like what they sold you, you can actually back out of the deal. Whereas you can't really do that with games. You pre-order the game, now you play the game, you realize it's full of bugs. Most of these games make it incredibly difficult for you to actually get your money back. Like the refund process for games like Blizzard is quite fucking tedious. And it's even worse for some other games where you basically, if you don't have a degree in programming, you're not refunding your fucking game because it requires you to write the code in order to get out of the fucking deal, right? You look at Steam, for example. Steam has one of the most generous refund policies in the gaming industry, and it still only gives you 2 hours to play the game. If you've spent more than 2 hours, even 1 minute over 2 hours playing the game, you can no longer refund. Both of us know that that's not how MMOs work. You can't figure out if an MMO is good or not in 2 hours, because most MMOs are incredibly tedious for the first few hours. Even with expansions, they're tedious. They kind of suck. Right? And it's not until you get to max level that you find out, oh, God, this was not what I expected. So it's a scumbag move by scumbag companies, and the support that you provide for these companies is what drives many of us up the wall. Now, I don't feel as strongly as other people. Minion, how you doing? When you buy a new build, you are heavily involved in the planning process down to what fixtures and fittings you want. Everyone gets to play the game on the same day anyway. You're better off saving the money now in case you're going to need it for anything else like an emergency. Winning, how you doing? I'm less worried about people pre-ordering. From a principle perspective, I really dislike it, but I also believe that it's your money and you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. I kind of wish that your decisions did not impact me, because they do. They impact me quite heavily, because I am often stuck having to play half-finished pieces of trash that will only get fixed months later with patch after patch after patch, right? So it does kind of annoy me. But, you know, it is what it is. And also, there is another probable cause for why people get really annoyed at pre-orders. Pre-orders sort of ties companies into legalese issues, where if you announced pre-orders and you gave a date of launch, then it becomes harder and harder to push the date back, because technically speaking, it is illegal to change the date once you've announced pre-orders. You know, no one does anything because no one's going to take you to court because you're, you know, postponing the launch of the game. But at the same time, it does sort of create this artificial, even if the game isn't ready, let's push it anyways. Adam, how you doing, bro? Wait, what are you on about? The pre-order $80 edition is 800% value. No, it's actually 2,000% value. I did the math yesterday, Adam. It's 2,000, actually. I would need to install Battle.net for me to pre-order after I build my new PC. Not installed it. Nice, Thorberg. Wayne, how you doing, bro? I did a heavy research, and I think I found what Jailer tried to warn us about. I think I found that major threat. What's the major threat? Thanks for the first time chat, dude. Really appreciate that. Most folks hold off on the pre-order this time around, make them earn your money with good work. People are not going to hold off on it. Vast majority of people are not principled enough to hold off on it. You are living a dream if you think that people are going to hold off from pre-ordering. The majority of people will get that pre-order, probably already got the pre-order. As soon as they could fucking click the link, they got the pre-order. And I can promise you, they don't give a shit. I can promise you they don't care. Just like a Battlefield 2042 is a perfect example. They recently said, we plan on fixing a game over the next 3 years. Who's going to be around for 3 years while they fix a game that should have been fixed when it launched? Took 2 years to get into a decent state. Well, this is what pre-orders do, Adam. This is why so many people get annoyed at pre-orders, is because that's exactly what happens with pre-orders. Yam Times, how you doing, bro? They lead to lazy companies. Lazy companies thinking they can do whatever the fuck they want, because why wouldn't they? These Actrix are, how you doing? Anna, how you doing? I don't know. I like I said, to me, it's a hard place to be because on the one side, I hate the fact that you're fucking me, but at the same time, it's your money, and I feel like you should be able to spend it whichever way you want. So ultimately, I come down on the side of it's your money, spend it however you want. I will still criticize it, but I won't judge you too harshly for it because ultimately, it is your money. You can do whatever you want with it. NVIDIA, how you doing? I want to buy the physical collector's edition, so I will pre-order in Shadowlands. When I went to buy that, they were already sold out. Zigzags, fuck you. But then again, you also think that the Arbiter is a cool character, so you are devoid of intellect anyways. There is a rumor BF is on Skeleton Crew because contractually they only need to release Season 1, which is what they sold. They don't have to do anything else. I heard the rumor, and I also saw that Wilson, the pariah that runs the company, or the piranha actually that runs the company, dismissed that. He said, no, it's not a Skeleton Crew. We're absolutely all hands on deck with 2042. You know these guys that gorge on anima and look like aliens? Yeah, the Devourers. There is a Hearthstone card that looks identical to these invaders from space. Look at the Ancient One Hearthstone card at Google. Okay, Upwind, whenever you do research for World of Warcraft, please do not look at Hearthstone at all. So Blizzard have said this, the creators of Hearthstone have said this, the writers of Blizzard have said this. The writing team for Hearthstone and the writing team for World of Warcraft are two separate teams. They have no conversations between them. Hearthstone refuses to do canon. World of Warcraft takes nothing that is in Hearthstone as canon, as is the case with Jaina. In Hearthstone, there is a card that turns Jaina into a Dreadlord. So canonically speaking, in Hearthstone, Jaina is a Dreadlord. It isn't canon in World of Warcraft, but it is canon in Hearthstone. So be careful whenever you're doing research to not look into... keep away from the Hearthstone stuff. They're cool, and they really do some cool theories, but they're not canon, and they can really throw you off quite heavily when it comes to doing any sort of research into it. But I do have a theory about the Devourers. You'll see in tomorrow's video. So the video that I released tomorrow, I made it yesterday. There's a theory that involves the Devourers quite heavily. It's not them, but it does involve them quite heavily. Hearthstone's lore is more of a what-if scenario. Yeah. WoW cherry pick some stuff from Hearthstone they like. Like Reno Jackson is in the WoW now. And sadly, I find Blizzard is becoming the new EA. I think Blizzard is getting worse than EA. At least with Diablo Immortal, EA has never done anything even quite close to what Blizzard pulled off with Diablo Immortal. King Julian, I don't know why you're trying to defend your decision. If I may ask, why are you defending your decision to pre-order the game? Does me judging you for pre-ordering the game change anything? Does it affect you in any way, shape, or form? It doesn't.
I think it is not an experiment on old gods. It is an experiment on the Devourers. It looks identical to the ones in Ardenweald, except color.
6x, that's fine, although all the lore suggests that you're wrong. But it is fine if that's what you want to believe. But the lore is not on your side here. Didn't someone find the alpha code in the launcher a week ago? I have no idea. But I can tell you, Nandy Dandy, how you doing? King Julian, I can tell you, don't defend yourself, bro. You want to pre-order the game, pre-order it and be proud of it. It really doesn't matter. My judgment of you should not make you feel any less happy about the fact that you just purchased something that you don't know anything about. That's your choice. And me not pre-ordering the game should not be an indication to anyone about anything other than the fact that I'm not pre-ordering the game yet. It is what it is. It doesn't really matter, right? I don't trust Blizzard right now. Shamanita, you're not alone. Niara, how you doing? Inquisitorium, how you doing, brother? It won't matter. The lore isn't on the lore side. But it looks really identical to Devourers, and it does not have anything like eyes or tentacles. Holler Emily, how you doing? So Zigzags, G'huun is an experiment. We don't know exactly how much goes into that experiment. We don't know what the Titans pulled off. I can tell you, though, that the Titans did not... If the Titans told us everything that they had done on Azeroth, we would be appalled. I can guarantee you that. I even have a theory, and we'll get into that at some point. I will make a video on it. But I even have a theory about the Titans actually imprisoning Elune. I believe that Elune is imprisoned within Elunaria because Elune is too powerful and also unstable. Elune's power makes her unstable, and therefore they imprison her within the moon to ensure that her power can always be used to fuel Azeroth, but that her power would be stabilized and kept in check so that she couldn't actually use her power, which is why Elune never actually showed up in the Shadowlands, and why Elune also had no idea what was happening within the Shadowlands and that the souls were actually going into the maw, because she is physically tied to Elunaria. So yeah, there's a lot of shit that I sort of have going on in my brain right now after everything Blizzard has done over the past 4 years. And so from BFA to Blitz to Shadow to Erasmus to Diablo, this is the first time I've not even considered pre-ordering. I'm still going to be playing it, but you know, check out the Livecraft podcast for our Elune theory. Oh yeah, we did actually discuss the theory during the Livecraft episode. Do you think at its current price tag, the Epic Edition is worth how many? Lucas, thanks for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The answer is no. No. I hate the additions in video games. So where's that post? Let's quickly go to Wowhead. You motherfucker. No, you asshole piece of shit crap. Wowhead, can you make sense of the world around you for one goddamn fucking second? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Alright. What just happened there? Oh, Zarkin, you bastard. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's unfortunate that you had to join us during a meltdown session, but here we are. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. Okay, let's take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. So we have the base edition. The base edition is currently $50, right? It's going to be $50 for the base edition. It's going to be $70 for the heroic edition, and it's going to be $90 for the epic edition. Here's the sad bit of this. The base edition gets you the base game and a singular pet. That's it. Just a little pet. I remember a time where a base edition would get you a game guide, a booklet, maybe even a soundtrack, like a shit ton of things. You'd get bonus discs and all that crap just from a base edition. The base edition right now, $50, and you get basically the game and a fucking pet. Then you go to the heroic edition, which suddenly gives you a flying mount. It gives you a character level boost all the way to level 60, right? Which is disgusting in and of itself. I fucking hate the level boosts in World of Warcraft. You get the same pet that the base edition people get, and that is $70. Right? That's a $70 price tag. Now, something is off here. Mathematically, something doesn't make a lot of sense here to me. Because a character boost right now in World of Warcraft is priced at what? $60. Am I correct? Swanky Tiger, I don't fucking know. I mean, I have a physical collector's edition. It's right up there. Blizzard sent me that physical collector's edition of Shadowlands. I don't know if it's going to be worth jack shit in 4 or 5 years, right? But it's up there. It fucking chills on the shelf. I don't open it. I don't use it. It's just there. I would imagine if you're going to do investments, that's probably not the best place to invest your money. But, you know, what do I know? But okay, so in other words, one or two things is true here. Number one is that the game is incredibly overpriced because Blizzard manages to sell their game for $70 and a character level boost that they themselves have priced at $60 for $70. Or the character level boost is entirely overpriced and should not be $60. But something isn't adding up. Technically speaking, this is a 100% like bonus value. Because you are getting, what is it, $110 worth of things? If you include the pets are what, $20, $25 on the store? So you're actually looking at $135 worth of content that Blizzard deems as content for $70, right? So something is making sense here. And then you get the Epic Edition, which is $90, and here you get the Time Walker's Hearthstone, Diadem of the Spellkeeper Transmog, Wings of Awakening Transmog, and an extra 30 days of game time. So these prices make no sense. Why do we not just have 2 editions? Charge $60, make the Heroic Edition the base edition, and then the Epic Edition you charge $80 for, and it has all of the extra goodies. Why all these different editions? Because you also have a physical collector's edition that is also strapped on top of these 4 editions. Why do we need so many fucking editions just to get a fucking game? Like, it's a game. Just give me the game. Make it 2 editions, one with all the goodies in it, one with just the game, and let's be done with it. We don't need 100 different editions just to buy a fucking video game, right? These editions for Dragonflight is like Blizzard taking a page from Ubisoft's book. Blizzard is not as bad as Ubisoft. No one is as bad as Ubisoft. Like, Ubisoft tends to have like 7 different editions. In order to understand a Ubisoft edition launch, you need a mathematical fucking degree, bro. Because the editions don't work the way that you think they do. It's all over the place, and you have to be able to keep track of it and make a chart and sort of plot the chart and all the rest of it. I know this is the gaming industry that we live in right now, and this is to entice people. This is literally why it exists from a psychological standpoint. I can tell you why this exists. So psychologically speaking, $50 is going to be the base entry point. That's what most people are going to be willing to pay, is the $50, okay? $70, and this is where things get really fucking interesting. Blizzard sells their base edition for $10 less than what they usually sell expansions for. They sell the Heroic Edition for $10 more than what they usually sell expansions for, but because it's only $10 more than what they usually sell expansions for, people might be more willing to buy it. Someone said earlier, if you look at the amount of mounts that people have already in the game, you can see how many people have pre-ordered. You can see how many people have pre-ordered on the Heroic Edition. This is Blizzard preparing the player base for $70 games. It is called Civilization. They make the base game look crap, so people choose mid or high value item and the illusion of choice. Malt games, yes. Yes, it is all psychological tricks. It's meant to psychologically entice you to pay what Blizzard actually wants $70 for their game. That's what Blizzard actually wants. They want $70 for their expansions. We know that this is what the gaming industry wants. The gaming industry have said multiple times that games should cost $70, no longer $60. Because $60, it's been $60 for 20 years. So they would really love to push it up to $70. This is what Blizzard wants. They want $70 for a game, but they can't get it yet. That would be very fucking hard to get because most people do not want to pay $70 for a video game. But you're not just paying $70 for a video game, are you? Because you're getting a character boost, you're getting a flying mount, you're getting a pet. So $70 suddenly looks really nice. And technically speaking, none of this cost Blizzard anything extra. Because technically speaking, the only thing that really cost Blizzard anything is the making of the video game. Because I guarantee you, this pet and this flying mount was already part of the game. They just decided to remove them and add them to the pre-order bonus. So yes, this is the perfect example of what they call price anchoring. It's again a psychological trick. You anchor the price at $50, right? For the base, normal, anything. Then you do the more expensive one, not much more expensive, it's only $20, but it looks amazing. It looks really, really fucking amazing. And then you do an Epic Edition with like a whole bunch of transmogs and stuff for $90. $90 is steep. Most people won't be able to pay it. So suddenly, the anchor price of $70 starts looking really juicy, right? Starts looking like a juicy idea. Let's pay the $70. I get a bunch of extra stuff for only $10 more. Now, in a few years from now, after you've bought 3 or 4 expansions at $70, because all the cool stuff that you're getting now, suddenly the base edition moves to $70, the heroic edition moves to $80 or $90, and then, of course, the epic edition moves to $110. Because all they're doing now is they're starting to anchor us into a sort of new normal, if you will. Takes Max Gaming. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that, bro. Welcome to the channel. How much was FF Walker? I don't remember. I have no idea. The truth is that this is all scumbag moves by the gaming industry using our own psychology against us. And if you think that this stuff doesn't work, the gaming psychological industry is worth billions of dollars. Gaming companies pay billions in order to figure out how humans work, how to market things to humans. Just look at how it's laid out on their site. Base edition, a measly 3 little lines, right? Heroic edition, ooh, paragraph. Epic edition, ooh, paragraph. Oh my god, it must be. Look at the color scheme. Just take a look at the color scheme. Most of you might not even know this. If you look at these colors, what does the base edition colors suggest to you? When you look at the colors, what does it suggest to you? When you look at the base edition? Bland, boring, unappealing, neutral colors, gray and white. You know, mwah. Look at the heroic edition. Kind of nice. There's a little bit of light there. Blue. Kind of makes you think, okay, there's a little bit of color here. Looks a little bit cool. And now look at the epic edition. Ooh. Ooh. Look at the epic edition. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not a coincidence. Today's discussion. This is not a coincidence. This is not a coincidence. Look at my thumbnails. Do you think that I just make those thumbnails yellow because it's you know, why not? I decided yellow is a really cool color. No. Those thumbnails are yellow because it works. Because people actually fucking click on thumbnails with yellow writing in it. How do I know this? Because this video, we've been warned, is the best video that I have made in the last 6 months. It's outperforming all of my other videos. Big yellow letters. People love it. So why did Blizzard do this? It's big and yellow. It tells you that this is good. Your brain wants this. Because it's valuable. Because yellow is close to gold, and for how many hundreds of thousands of years did humans use gold as the main currency? It's shiny. It tells you this is what you need. Now, not everyone can afford this, right? And this is where the price is anchored, by the way. The Epic Edition is the anchor price. It's the highest of all of them. It tells you that all of this is worth $90. I can't afford $90. Fuck, I wish I could afford $90. I can't afford it. I also don't want the base edition. It looks so bland and boring. But this one is just right. It's called the Goldilocks effect. This one is too bland and boring. This one is too expensive, but really cool. This one is just right for me. And I get my $70 laughing all the way to the fucking bank. It's called the Goldilocks effect, and it's actually employed by retail companies quite often. This is a scumbag move, but most of you probably already reckon that this is a thing that does happen. The Goldilocks effect. You have 3 different companies or brands selling a DVD player in your store. You want to sell a DVD player because why? Well, you're back in the year 2009 and DVD players are cool again. So you want to sell 3 DVD players. You have a X brand, Y brand, and Z brand, right? These are the 3 brands that you have. Now, X brand came to you and said, hey, we really, really want to sell some of our DVD players, so we'll give you an extra 20% kickback for every one of our DVD players that you actually sell. The company can do one or two things. They can drop the price of the X one to basically be lower than all of the others. The problem then is a lot of people will look at the lowest price DVD player, think that it is automatically worthless, and therefore not be willing to buy it because cheaper usually means trash. So what the company will do instead is they will take Z brand and lower that price to like bare minimum. They'll take Y brand and they'll push that price to like the upper limit of what people would be willing to pay for a DVD player. And then they'll put X brand, remember this is the one that's giving them the massive kickback, right in the middle. Why? Because that one's too expensive, that one's too cheap, this one is just right. Humans love shit like this. Our brains rotate to things like this. We make these decisions and it just works every single time. Before we're through that, did you see Bobby is staying on the Blizzard board of directors? Yeah, it's like a fucking bad cancer. You can't get rid of the guy. This is the same when you buy food. You don't buy the XXL big packet, but the normal packet looks bad as well. So you decide in between, maybe food plus drinks or food plus extra sauce. Yeah, it's all a scam, but at the end of the day, it worked for these companies. And it's not because humans are stupid. It has nothing to do with intellect. It's designed this way. This is not by accident. This is designed. There are so many psychological bags of tricks that go into deciding these things to make sure that these things ultimately work in their favor. And it's not going to work on everyone. A lot of people like myself is just going to buy the base edition because that's all I need. Couldn't give 2 fucks about anything here. But it just has to work on enough people for them to actually get a decent amount of cash from it, right? And that's it's sad, but it's the way it is. Nigga Spider, how you doing? I actually heard the other day, do you guys know what the profits is for McDonald's on their soda drinks? So, you know the soda fountain drinks that you get from McDonald's? Do you know what those profits are on those drinks? Dude, it's insane. It's like 500, 600% profit that those companies make on those soda fountain drinks. It's fucking ridiculous. I will give props to the art department. That Dragon Mount is fucking gorgeous. Yeah, well, the art department for Blizzard have always carried Blizzard. This we know, right? That's not even news. But like once in McDonald's in my life? Aureus, are you serious? Just once? They only charge $1 for the biggest soda and still make a ton? Doesn't McDonald's charge $1 for all of their sodas? Oh, we have a good stream. 1:30 a.m. here in New Zealand, so I'm about to go to sleep. Oh, shit, dude. Thank you very much for stopping by, man. Really appreciate it. Not in the US. I'm pretty sure they do. Stupidly high on those drinks, even here in Australia. No food there, at least not for me. What do you mean there's no food at McDonald's? Look, McDonald's food isn't the best food for you, but it is food. If you're starving, you'll buy it, right? In Germany, you pay €3 for half a liter. Jesus, that is quite expensive. But yeah, I don't buy drinks from fast food restaurants because no one in South Africa sells Pepsi Max. I believe actually, the only place I can get Pepsi Max in South Africa is from Burger King. Like all of the other restaurants in South Africa sell Coke, and I hate Coke. Adrian, yeah, this is why we call it fountain soda. It's a fountain soda. So it's a syrup, and then you just mix water, carbonated water into it, and it makes the drink. Sendrex, you bastard, thanks for the gift and stuff. Did really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, hearts in chat. The man from New Zealand, just spending a bit of cash before he goes to bed. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You hate Coke? I don't know if we can still be friends, bro. Moni, Coke is disgusting. It tastes like acid. I hate it. Give me some Pepsi Max. I'm so happy. I don't need Coke. Fucking Coke is disgusting to me. Maybe you need to try Coke in a different country. It tastes different all over the world, not just one single taste. It's bad everywhere. Sendrek, thank you very much for hanging out, dude, and for the gifted sub. Good night, bro. Yeah, I don't drink cherry Coke either. I don't need my perfect drink fucked with flavors. So you get Pepsi Lemon and Pepsi Vanilla in South Africa. I hate all three of those. Like, there's a cherry Pepsi as well. Hate that too. No. Just normal Pepsi Max. That's it. That's all I need. And I don't want sugar. So it can't be like the normal Pepsi or the normal Coke. Because that's just too much fucking sugar. I like the sugarless versions of that shit. But yeah, no. I will say, though, I once had a can of Coke from America. And your Coke is even more disgusting. Just FYI. Like, your Coke tastes horrible. Not gonna lie. I don't know if it's the corn syrup that's used in your Coke. Or what? Because in South Africa, it's sugarcane. Right? We're using normal sugar in our soft drinks. But the Coke from America just tastes rancid. It's just a horrible aftertaste. Young to be acting like a cranky old man. Swanky Tiger, I am a cranky old man. I was a cranky old man since the age of 20, bro. So it's nothing new, I promise you. It would be high acid content and the corn syrup. I felt the sugar on my lips. Jesus. They'll shove anything down our gullets in this country. True. That's not just your country, though. That's every country. And I feel like humans have just gotten so used to the fact that we eat horrible crap that we don't even care anymore, you know? It's way too warm. I was hyped because it was supposed to rain in the afternoon, but the rain is piss warm, so now it's hot and humid. It is a wet, incredibly wet day in South Africa, at least in Cape Town. The rain has just not fucking stopped, dude. It is cold. Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I'm very happy. Very, very happy. All right, so there's something else we have to discuss. Some big news. Big news, ladies and gentlemen. This, of course, means nothing to the rest of you plebs, because you're not streamers, and therefore you don't even give a shit about this. But I care about this, because more money, bitch. So why not? No, it's not actually going to lead to more money. It's just going to mean more of you fucking people hanging out in my chat being morons and crap. So, you know, let's all put our hands together for Twitch. Finally trying to grow some of the smaller streamers on the platform. Is it going to work? Probably not, because who gives a fuck about small streamers? But still, you know, we can cover this. So Twitch is experimenting with a significant category layout change. Twitch's plans to make adjustments to the way viewers browse categories, which could be good for small channels, though some fans are not pleased. How many of you actually browse categories? Because I don't think there's many. I think the vast majority of people just know who they want to watch and then go watch that. Not many people, like, I will oftentimes browse, like, when I browse categories, I have to be very bored. Like, when I'm super fucking bored, I'll go browse a category or two, you know, just to sort of, maybe I stumble onto someone that's kind of cool. But most of the time, you know, I know exactly who I want to watch. If I go on Twitch right now, yeah, these are the people that I want to watch. So if I wasn't streaming right now, I'd be watching one of these people on the side here. And, you know, whoever the fuck eventually comes online, you know, of the people that I follow. And that's it. That's really it. I don't often go into the browsing thing because what would be the fucking point? But okay, so let's see what Twitch is actually doing. I just stick to what I know I want to view. Very, very rarely. Usually if I want to watch a specific genre, if I'm that bored, I watch YouTube. The Everybody Bob Ross episodes too. Okay, for those who are looking to make a start in streaming, chances are Twitch will be the first site to come to mind, even though streaming platforms have generally seen a decline in growth, which could be due to the winding down of the pandemic. The Amazon-owned service is still head honcho of video game broadcasting, in spite of many controversies that regularly befall the website. And a new change is currently being experimented with that could be useful for discovering smaller channels, though some viewers aren't happy with it so far. A recent tweet and accompanying clip from Twitch partner Loco discusses an upcoming change to the layout of the site, specifically the category section. Currently, viewers scroll through a series of streams that are playing the game they wish to see and click on the channels they want to watch. However, the update that's currently being tried out will allow users to see a live stream without actually opening it. In other words, it will begin to autoplay a chosen stream in a small window directly on the category page. Loco shows that these previews last about a minute, with the option to play sound, allowing users to decide whether they actually visit the channel. Oh. Yeah, that is gonna annoy the fuck out of me. That is gonna... The amount of times I've opened a website and then suddenly audio comes through. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? Where's the... what? It's just going to be annoying. You're not... How many people are actually going to go watch the streamer that's being auto-played? No one. People is just going to look to click off the auto-play button as quickly as possible. This is a horrible, horrible idea. I swear to God, it's like the people that work at Twitch don't actually fucking use the internet. It's like a bunch of... like old dudes that live out in the farm somewhere, that hunt and forage for their own fucking food, that writes the code and comes up with the ideas for Twitch. Every single person I know hates autoplay, like despises it, because it's almost always too loud, right? Way too loud, because it just blasts into your ears, this fucking new thing that you're supposed to be seeing now. It also comes usually at inopportune moments. You're there to read an article, and then suddenly there's a video auto-playing, like, oh my god, I just want to read the article. Please, for the love of fuck, can we just stop with the autoplayer? There's no way that autoplay is ever a good idea. Loco believes that this could be handy for discovering smaller Twitch content creators and channels. Loco, you are fucking loco. You are wrong if you think that this is good for discovering smaller content creators. All this does is it annoys people, and the smaller content creator is the one that pays the price. Because next time they actively discover this smaller content creator, they go, oh my god, this is the same fucking asshole that was... oh my god, no, never mind. I don't think that will happen, but anyways. Why wouldn't they just do thumbnail previews like elsewhere? There is a much better way for Twitch to actually get discoverability on their platform. Much better way. You don't need thumbnails, you don't need previews, you don't need any of that shit. It is actually so easy, it is fucking scary. One thing the streamer noticed was that these autoplay previews didn't show any pre-roll ads. Whether this will be changed once the update actually rolls out can't be said at this stage. However, while it could be beneficial to small channels, some people seem unhappy with this layout change. Well, why wouldn't they be? According to a report from PC Gamer, a thread on Reddit shows that some users are not pleased with this feature, with some even saying that this will cause them to make the move from Twitch to YouTube. Bullshit. Bullshit. Will they make the switch from Twitch to YouTube? Oh my god, I love when people get absolutely fucking pedantic and completely over-exaggerates themselves. Yeah, if they do this, I will move to YouTube. Then they do this and they stay on Twitch. Because why would you move to YouTube? The chances are you already have people that you watch on Twitch. Therefore, you're just going to watch the same people on Twitch. All this is going to do is people are going to stop browsing. That's all it's going to do. People are just going to browse less because they don't want the horrible autoplay bullshit on their streams. And then, of course, there is the other thing that Twitch could do. Twitch could basically make it with no sound. So it is an autoplay, but there's no sound on the video, which means most people won't even notice that the video is playing. So again, wouldn't really matter at all. So whether it's a good thing or not is down to how the individual feels about videos that play while browsing. The change means that viewers don't have to commit to a channel to get an idea of what the stream is like. Twitch often deals with controversy, such as when it comes to banning users, not to mention last year's hate raids. But some may see this new layout as a good way to discover new content creators. In any case, I think the people who wrote this article also doesn't know what the fuck the internet is all about. Look, Twitch, for the love of God, for the love of all things that is holy and nice in this goddamn world, can I teach you how you get discoverability on your fucking platform? Because it is actually easy. These are all the clips that is made of my channel daily whenever we stream. People make these clips. If you made a place for clips to actually be discovered, similar to TikTok, similar to YouTube Shorts, similar to Instagram Reels, people will get discovered. It's as simple as that. You make a simple mobile app that allows people to just sort of browse and scroll through clips, and it just comes up as random. It learns as an algorithm from the videos that you like and the games that you like, and you discover brand new fucking people just from clips. It is as simple as that. It allows you to do two things, Twitch, so listen fucking closely. First, you will become the first streaming platform to solve discoverability. 100%. All discoverability is solved by simply doing this. Number two, you no longer have to push stupid fucking ads in live streams, because you can put all of your ads that you need to sell into the clips. As people are scrolling the clips, there pops up ads, and they see the ad, and they scroll past the ad, and they watch the next clip. You get views on your ads, everyone gets clips, people get discovered, streamers go big, everyone gets rich, and we all suck each other's dicks. It's as happy as can be. Why in the fuck do you not know this? Just use your own goddamn site and realize that you have a gold mine just waiting for you. They already have mobile app. It's just shit. The mobile app doesn't mean anything if it's not like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Reels on Instagram. Better to spend a minute on clip and then move to full vids rather than randomly playing someone who is currently not in front of screen. Yeah, because that's the other problem, right? The algorithm is going to pick a random stream and then just autoplay that. What if this random stream that it picks, the guy is quickly gone to the bathroom? Now it's just an empty chair. Like, the autoplay is just a guy with an empty chair. And he has no idea that he's being autoplayed right now, because no one warned him that, hey, by the way, in 20 minutes, you're going to be the one autoplayed to everyone. So you have to be live for the next 2 hours, because we're going to be autoplaying you for the next 2 hours. He has no idea. So he's going to the bathroom. It's a fucking chair stream. No one's watching anyways, because this is the most boring stream in the history of Twitch ever. So what exactly is the point of this? This is a horrible... Twitch needs to wake the fuck up, bro. Oh my god. Twitch needs to wake the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why do I know these things? I don't even own a website, and I know these things. How do I know it? Because I actually use the site. I use the internet. It's ridiculous, dude. I use the mobile app a lot, and it's still very difficult to use. More difficult than FF14 transactions. I hate the Twitch mobile app. But this is why it has to be a separate app. It can't be the Twitch mobile app. It needs to be a separate app that is designed for clips and clips alone. They can literally call it Clips with a Z. Like, that's the app's name, Clips with a Z. Yeah, pretty much, right? It's just annoying. It's annoying that and I'm not the first person to suggest this either. It's not like I came up with this miraculous new thing and, you know, I'm just the smartest man in the room. That's not the case, not even close. There's many people that have said this. Many people have said this. The issue is just Twitch does not listen to their fucking community. you want to see highlights of previous streams, I go to YouTube. I would say, though, what's interesting, peace out from Australia. Thanks, bro, for the mentions. Lucas, thank you so much for hanging out, dude. Really appreciate it. How you doing, brother? Are you going to bait now, or did you just arrive? Something I wanted to... So, my VOD channel is actually doing better than I thought. I don't know why so many people are actually subscribing to the VOD channel, but it does seem like people like the VOD channel, which is, like I said, strange as fuck. Because it's just VODs. There's literally nothing else on this channel than VODs. Like, just look at this. This is the VOD channel, right? It's literally called Akko Live, and it's just a collection of all of my VODs being uploaded. It's got 940 fucking subs. Why? Why does it have 940 subs? Searchability, Twitch is awful for browsing VODs compared to YouTube. It's literally the Twitch streams, Shamanita. It is literally the Twitch streams. The reason I keep them here is YouTube doesn't delete them. So on Twitch, if you go to the VOD section on Twitch, so here's my videos, right? My video section. These will be deleted after 6 months. So right now there is 74 VODs because the others have already been deleted. They only last for 6 months. So I update my VODs to YouTube so that I always have them, you know? This way I can look back 3-4 years from now and I can go, oh my God, I remember when I used to do this, and, you know, this is what I look like, this is the kind of content I made, or whatever the case may be, right? You never know what happens. I have to make these videos live anyways as well. But, yeah, so it is just more of a... it really is just a place where whatever... and there's 940 fucks that decided, hey, this looks like a good channel. I'll watch this channel. I don't know why. It's low effort as fuck, by the way. I do no effort with this. This is literally how I upload everything on this channel. Just 2 p.m. every day, I make the VODs live, and that's it. YouTube will often load the next section in a particular series in your recommendations automatically, while Twitch will automatically load the next stream, forcing you to search through the VODs to look for the next time the streamer plays that game. Again, I would agree with you there. I would definitely agree with you there. Twitch is a horrible experience for anything offline. Online, this is the best place to consume online content by a mile. I love streaming to Twitch more than I love streaming to YouTube. I love the chat more on Twitch than I love the chat on YouTube. And I think most of my viewers prefer Twitch over YouTube. So you're absolutely correct in that regard. The thing that's bonkers to me is how in the fuck is Twitch so far ahead the rest of the game with live streaming, but can't seem to catch up in the offline world. I have not yet, Stolly. I have not yet. How you doing, Stolly? Olgrim, how you doing, brother? Yeah, I adore watching streams live, but once the live stream is over, I go to YouTube to watch VODs, especially sequentially. I still have to get into some kind of series. What's the last one? This is 121. What number are we on right now? 123, so I need to get 122 up. Alright, there we go. I think YouTube is gaining on Twitch, though. I hope they become more competitive. More competition is always good. Obviously, it's always good. By the way, I'm going to play another ad now. So I promise that I won't be talking about bullshit at all. Like anything important won't be said in the next 3 minutes. So if you want to grab some coffee, now is the time to do it. I'm playing the ad so that you don't get ads later on. Because I do actually have a topic that I want to discuss. But I'll wait for the ads to be done. So go grab a coffee now if you want to. I don't want to bore you with ads, but it is kind of forced. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play an ad now. No, I have to wait. 3 minutes still. Jesus. Saying anything important? I'll try, right? Don't tell me what to do, Akko. I'm sorry. It's all right. I'm sorry. I'll back the fuck off. I don't mean to offend you. I won't tell you when I'm playing ads in the future. Fuck you then. I'll just play them. What I'll do is I'll wait for the perfect moment in stream where something really important is about to happen, and then I'll play the ads. Merciful Fate, you bastard. Thanks for the deal. What's up, dude? Really appreciate that. 3 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are far too kind giving me all your cash. I love it. I love it. Thank you. I have coffee still. My coffee cup is actually still full, actually. I should drink more coffee. Ah. What's up, bro? I just went to the gym again for the first time in 2 weeks. So my body is quite fucking wrecked. You still playing FF14, Akko? Yeah, as soon as my power allows it again. I've sort of taken a small break from FF14. I'm not having a lot of fun streaming the raids, I'm going to be honest with you. I like the story of the raids, but streaming the raids isn't fun. Like, I love when I stream the patch content and the sort of questing campaigns, but I'm not enjoying the raids. Yeah. So, the last time we streamed the raids, I was really not having fun at all streaming the raids, and so I just decided, fuck it, I need a break. I'll be back. So I'm not sure if I'm just gonna give up on the streaming of the raids, and I'll just do the raids offline, so that I at least get to do them, right? I at least get to see what the raids are all about, and I don't miss the story. Or if I'm just gonna power through and try to see them. But yeah, just the straight up streaming of the raids is very fucking horrible for me. FF14, I'm supposed to leave and check back later. Necro, that's the right way to do it, yes. That would be the right way to do it. If you are here, like, you should technically only be here to watch me play Final Fantasy 14. All of you. So I'm not playing Final Fantasy 14 right now, so you can leave. You should leave. This is how it works on Twitch. If the streamer isn't streaming your game, you should fuck off and wait for the streamer to stream your game. Joanita, yeah. No, we will get back into Final... I'm not done with Final Fantasy 14. I was just taking a break. But I promise you I'm not done with Final Fantasy 14. For 3 minutes while you run ads, don't stop. Holgrim, imagine that. Like, all right, guys, quickly gonna play an ad, play some Final Fantasy. Okay, ad's done. Let's get back to just chatting. I could probably do that, right? Use the time to fuck off then. For him, this is the way. Not streaming it equals date game. Yeah, it is sad to say. Final Fantasy is now officially a date game, right? Ready to watch Asmon play FF14? It's weird that Asmon is finally back to it. How many views did Asmon have on his first day getting back to FF14? I'm assuming it wasn't anywhere near as big as it was the first time he switched to FF14. Yeah, so 80, 90k. I mean, the first time he played it was like 200k, right? He was breaking 200k records. It's still a lot, but it's clearly not as much as it was, right? So it does seem like the... it seems like the hype for Final Fantasy have died down and a lot of people have sort of settled. Which makes sense. That would happen normally. I just wonder what the next big game is going to be. MMO, what do you mean Stormblood stigma? Shadowbringers, you will get those numbers back, I think. People generally are not very interested in Stormblood. Wait, so Stormblood, people lose viewers in Stormblood. So you guys are telling me if I just keep going until Shadowbringers, we're going to hit the big bucks when we get to Shadowbringers. I loved Stormblood, bro. I had a ton of fun in Stormblood. I don't know why people hated Stormblood so much. In fact, Stormblood is the one expansion that I actually played from start to finish relatively quickly. I really fucking enjoyed it. Shadowbringers, people flock in. You're going to see viewership jump up. I don't really care about viewership at all. I am looking forward to getting to Shadowbringers. But I don't really give a fuck about the viewership element all that much. As long as you guys are here and you're enjoying whatever content I make, I'm happy with it. Even though when you reach Shadowbringers, they don't hate it. They just don't like the pacing in the first half. It's a lot of great world building, that's why. I think it's partly because there's a lot to go fetch type of quests in Stormblood. When are we going to do community games night, Akko? Natora, whenever my electricity sort of calms down again, it is something that I really want to do, is community game nights. Saturdays, Sundays, stuff like that, you know. But those are also days that I'm not always streaming, because on Saturdays I tend to be out of the house. So it all depends on what time I get back into the house. This Saturday, for example, my brother had his birthday day before yesterday, and we're going this Saturday to go just go out, maybe grab something to eat or some shit like that. 10 plus people, Stellaris matches. I've never even played Stellaris, so why would I fucking do a night of Stellaris gaming? Oh, MMO? I've played a lot of V Rising with patrons. So, actually not just with patrons. I've played V Rising with Twitch subs as well. I don't think many of you fucking know this. So I'll show you. If you head over to Discord, right? If you head over to Discord, there's this little area here. It's called the Thick Beard Club. If you're a patron, a YouTube member, or a Twitch sub, you have access to the Thick Beard Club. You'll see just today, we were hanging out, actually watching CrossFit fails. So we were watching people squat while their knees were clapping hands, which was actually quite funny. We were watching CrossFit fails, and then we watched the financial meltdown. Some guy talking about the financial meltdown. But just the day before yesterday, we were making thumbnails. Day before that, we were playing V Rising. So I do play games, like I do play other games, but that's usually to these streams. So for Twitch subs, YouTube channel members, and patrons, you guys can keep an eye on this section of Discord. All you do is you download, or you have your Discord, so you just link your Discord to your Twitch, and if you're a sub in this channel, you have access to this channel, and yeah, you can watch as I stream. It is on YouTube though, because it is a limited stream, and Twitch doesn't allow for limited streams. And it's usually just like 2 hours in the morning, just having coffee and doing some, like, whatever the fuck I feel like. But I am thinking of starting a gaming series, and the first game we're going to be playing is Cyberpunk. And I'm going to do it differently. I want to play Cyberpunk and discuss the economic and political implications of the future of Cyberpunk, because that game, if you played that game and you're not absolutely afraid of what is coming, you're a fucking moron. Like, that game is scary as shit. Or yes, no, Elden Ring will be for the main channel. Like, games with heavy story and stuff, I don't mind playing just with patrons. But, like, heavy story games tend to not work that well on Twitch. I take low life for a reason. What about Among Us, Akko? I miss all those good Among Us streams you used to do. I will probably not play Among Us anytime soon. It's the future, and ironically, Shadow Scalig, I agree with you. I think Cyberpunk is the future. Oh, absolutely. The geopolitical implications of the story in Cyberpunk is why I think it's one of my favorite games now. I don't understand why more people don't like Cyberpunk. Like, and thank you so fucking much. The fact that so many people go, yeah, Cyberpunk had such a horrible launch. It's like, yeah, who gives a fuck? That story is insane. It's not an RPG. Sure, I agree with you. It isn't an RPG. But it's amazing. It doesn't matter that it isn't an RPG. That world is fucking fantastic to be in. It's one of the greatest game worlds I have ever been a part of. The disco option, thanks for the 0 sub, did really appreciate that. 6 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Personally, I got bummed by the lack of ending options in Cyberpunk. Did they patch it up to a decent level yet? Might try Cyberpunk out. I have no problems with Cyberpunk whatsoever. But I've never really had problems. Cyberpunk had no problems on PC at all. The real problems was for console. Like, console peasants struggled, sure. But, you know, if you're not a peasant and you actually play like a king, you had no issues. But yeah, the story and the future of Cyberpunk is scary as shit. I can't get into story games. I played like 40 levels in FF14 and got bored. Raza, what do you mean you can't get into story games? I pre-ordered on PS4. Too bored? That's because you're a peasant. Oh yeah, Bad Gamer. Oh yeah, that game scares the fuck out of you. You're in this world and you're just like, oh my god, this is coming. And I can see it's coming because it makes so much sense that they're doing this to us. It's just that they do the thing that CD Projekt Red does with side quests. What side quests you did and how you handled them determined your ending options. So if you beeline the story, you only get 1 or 2 ending options. I had a ton of fun with the options that was there. Some story games are boring as hell, to be honest. I can only get hooked nowadays when the story is trying to do something new. It's rare that I will find story games that I'm not into, but you are correct. There are story games that is just boring. On something that challenges me? Yeah, but... dude, storytelling is as old as humanity itself. As humans, we love stories. So why would you not want more story? Like, story is what we all live for. First playthrough I did of Cyberpunk was on PS4 on release, friends game on PS4. I put 100 plus hours in and did nearly everything. Was one of the best games and stories I've played, so screw anyone who complains about it. Just ignore the bugs and bullshit and learn to live with it. Well, you don't need to learn to live with it. The last patch that CD Projekt Red did for Cyberpunk fixed basically all of the bugs. The police is a lot more of a threat now, but they don't just spawn on top of you. You can actually see the police coming. The world feels a hell of a lot more alive now than it did before. There's so many people on the streets. The city is just so incredibly well done. No, it is just a fantastic fucking world. Do you guys actually want to play Elden Ring? I sound in Final Fantasy XIV, I'm currently in patch 4.3. I just killed like 10 cops. Easy. Do it, go play Elden Ring. Lost lore that grabbed my attention was Warhammer 40k. I have it on my PC now, and I have seen the updates. It's so good, but at the core, I mean, the story and the things it touches on is so deep and interesting. Absolutely true. So fucking true. Hey, if you guys still want to see Elden Ring, I'll buy it, and I'll play it. I don't know if there's still really an audience for Elden Ring, though. Okay, I don't know what the audience for Elden Ring is like nowadays, if people still actually give a fuck about the game. We want to watch the speculator play a game with no obvious narrative and environmental lore, so play Elden Ring. Yeah, but it's also a tough game. It's like hard, and maybe I die too often, and then that might be boring as fuck, because I know I'm gonna get annoyed. And when I get annoyed, it might not be the greatest fucking thing for anyone to watch, because I will start swearing and yelling and screaming at the fucking game, because I'm annoyed. So that does happen. It happened quite a lot with what's the game? Fall Guys. I got really annoyed in Fall Guys, dude. Like, to the point where I was screaming at my screen because I kept dying for no fucking reason. So I can get quite annoyed with it. Okay, let's see. What's the viewership like for It's here. What's the viewership like for Elden Ring right now? Because I'm just a slut for chasing the views, right? The fuck is Cycle Frontier? Fall Guys still has 60k viewers? Dude, what is this? Teamfight Tactics, Call of Duty, Warzone, Rust, Chess, World of Warcraft, Fortnite, Minecraft, Dead by Daylight. Dude, what the hell is going on? There's so many new games here. What is this game? The Cycle Frontier. Elden Ring was fun, but that was like 4 months ago. I couldn't watch you play Elden Ring. The rage would be hilarious, but I intend to play it myself, so spoilers. Is there really spoilers in Elden Ring? I don't think so, because there's no real story. It still has 19k views. I mean, it's not great, but it's not horrible either. Considering it's 4 months now. That's not too horrible. Oh, this is another just shooter game, right? Yeah, of course. Of course it's a shooter game. What did I expect? Just look at the top levels here. So you have Valorant at 185k viewers. League of Legends, which has always just had over 100k viewers. It's just a fucking crazy game. You have Grand Theft Auto, which I have, but I'm assuming this is the online play for GTA. I don't think this is the story mode, right? Counter-Strike, Dota, Apex Legends, Fall Guys, Teamfight Tactics, and Warzone. Dude, the top games on Twitch are basically all shooter games with here and there, you know, the MOBA game and then just chatting. Wait, this is a raid looter shooter? Is it fuck? Dude, I'm a huge fan of looter shooters. But not for long. I can play them for like 2 days. It's like survival games. Huge fan of them. Play them for 2 days, then I'm bored. So let's see here. But they're always fun for 2 days. So I will definitely get into it for 2 days and then I'll leave.
The Cycle Frontier is a free-to-play PvPvE first-person shooter that graphically
Free to play. Yeah, okay. So, what guns can you buy to shoot people in the dick with?
speaking reminds me of No Man's Sky and Outer Wilds. I got a few hours of gameplay time, and I'm happy to say that it feels solid even with the few bugs I came across.
Okay.
The Cycle Frontier introduces players to the planet Fortuna 3, where mysterious alien creatures run free and old research facilities remain abandoned. Players enter the planet as prospectors, adventurers who search for resources and precious loot while
Does this remind anyone of Destiny? Like, the shooting gunplay reminds me very much of, like, Destiny 2.
braving the elements and hostile creatures. But you're not the only prospector around town. Other players will be dropping into the planet to gather the same resources you're after, and while some can be friendly, others will want to hunt you down for your inventory. The Cycle Frontier brought me back to DayZ days of worrying about PvE elements and survival while also being wary of players I'd come across. Anyone can turn at you at any time, all while being chased down by the hostile alien monsters on the planet.
Jesus. That gun, though. Fucking
You can
hell.
enter the game solo or with a team of up to 3 players. You start with basic loadout options, and you have to equip them individually in your inventory. Each time you set out on an excursion, you'll have to decide if you want to ensure any of your
So they're basically taking sort of a more streamlined approach, similar to what's that game called? I literally just saw it. Escape from Tarkov. Like they're basically Escape from Tarkov, but not quite Escape from Tarkov.
Your equipment you're setting out with. If you die on Fortuna 3, you'll lose everything you equipped and had in your inventory unless your items are insured. Thankfully, you also have 5 safe pocket slots in your inventory, which lets insured. Thankfully, you also have unless your items are.
Dude, who the fuck is the Oros guy? Like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Are insured. Thankfully, you
fucked.
also have 5 safe pocket slots in your inventory, which lets you keep those 5 items even if you die. While this mechanic seems kind of punishing, I didn't find it frustrating. It gave me more of a reason to be cautious about the looting I did and the interactions with players that I decided to take on. The Cycle Frontier balances risk and reward really well, since it's really on you if you decide to take on that big alien creature if you decide to enter a high danger area. When you've had your fill of scrounging for resources, you can go to extraction points to call for an evacuation ship. There's a bit of a delay in calling for the ship, waiting for it to dock, then waiting for it to close its doors and leave, so you have to be aware of nearby players that might try to jump you to steal your loot and take off in your ship. Extracting successfully will reward you with XP and all of the resources you picked up in your adventure.
Okay, this is literally Escape from Tarkov, though. Like, this is 100%. It's not an open world game. It's basically just you go in, you go collect shit, and then you come out.
Which you can then use to craft or sell for currency. This extraction mechanic reminds me of games like Escape from Tarkov, Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone, and Scavengers. It works really well here since it only adds to that risk and reward factor that the cycle focuses on. Everything you need to do needs to be pretty seriously considered since it's fairly easy to lose a lot of resources in one fight against creatures or even players. While you do have the safe pockets and insurance, you can't save everything.
Okay.
What's truly impressive is that no excursion down to Fortuna 3 feels the same. It sounds like a repetitive task to go to the planet to forage and loot, but you never know what you'll find on the surface. There are some in-game events that also just happen organically. A storm may pass through, meaning you'll have to find shelter or brave the elements, or meteors may crash onto the planet's surface and grant you precious materials when mined. There are also mini puzzles that exist throughout the map in different locations where you have to power a gen-
Yeah, I can't watch this. I can't fucking watch this. I was just thinking to myself, there's a lot of positives to this game. If I'm listening to this review, it's probably one of the best games that's ever been made. Like, everything is just positive, you know? Like, oh, the excursions could seem boring because you keep going to the same planet to collect the same stuff, but you never know what you're going to find on this planet that you've been to a million times and by now know the layout of every single fucking area within the map. Surely there must be some negative stuff, right? Some negative stuff. All games have negative stuff. It doesn't make the game bad. It just means that the game did certain things not great. And then I scrolled down, you know, casually as you do, and I saw that this was a review by IGN. And I realized that I'm not going to get the truth about this game from this review. So thank you very much, IGN. I really appreciate the work that you did here. But fuck you. Like, oh my god. I will probably not be playing this cycle because we're this deep into the video. We know that it is a free-to-play game, and they have still not touched on any of the pay-to-win elements of the game, which will have to be there because it's a free-to-play game. How else are they even remotely covering themselves? And in games like this, the best way to do it would be inventory space. So giving people more inventory space or giving them access to better upgrades more quickly, something like that, which isn't clearly pay to win, but it is ultimately pay to win. Sathix, you bastard, thanks for the prime sub, I really appreciate that. 27 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're far too kind, Sathix. How you doing, brother? That's 27 months. That's a long ass time. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna play this, ladies and gentlemen. Probably not gonna fucking waste my time with it. Not losing gear somehow? Well, it could be, so just a straight up upgrade to your inventory. So you could just get more inventory space, and I can already see them probably doing it, if I remember correctly. Like, there's definitely space here to add more inventory slots, right? So you could probably take it from like 105 weights. Like the weight you can carry is 105 to maybe 250 with a couple of extra boxes there. Or, and this is probably what's going to happen, more safe pockets. So if you pay, you can probably get 10 safe pockets rather than just 5. And that would be, in a game like this, would absolutely be pay to win. Because the more loot you can guaranteed get back after every incursion means you can upgrade more. If you absolutely know that you can get 10 things back every single time rather than most free-to-play players that can only get 5 things back, you're always going to be better equipped and better geared than the free-to-play players. If you're thinking about playing something, you might like Borderlands 3 story. The main enemies are basically streamers in Borderlands style. Loved it. I have Borderlands 3. I've just never played it. Yeah, the pay to win. You get extra slots on the 5 slots where you can't lose more gear on death. Exactly. It also fucks with the fun. If you're playing the game, you want to be able to lose important shit. I don't know if I'm a fan of that, though. Actually, I know for a fact I'm not a fan of that. I don't like full PvP games. And in full PvP, that's what it means. So a full PvP game is a game where when you die, the other person can loot your shit. I'm not a massive fan of that because I think it makes the game, yes, while realistic, it also makes the game just very punishing. There's a reason why a game like Escape from Tarkov is never going to be the top played first-person shooter game in the world. Because the vast majority of casual gamers that only have a night to play, maybe 2 or 3 nights a week to play, isn't going to get into Escape from Tarkov. It's way too hardcore. So they're just probably going to play something like Valorant or, you know, fucking Warzone or some shit like that. Yeah, and obviously in full PvP games, you are going to get a lot more toxicity. And when I say toxicity, I mean toxic gameplay. Saints Row series is pretty good. I'm not currently really looking for a game to play. I'm more looking for games that you guys want to watch me play. I am playing Star Wars The Old Republic right now, and it is fun. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm having the time of my life in Star Wars The Old Republic. That game is good, bro. The story in that game is fucking fantastic. What the hell is HOM? Raging Cyclone? I have 2 characters that I'm currently playing in Star Wars The Old Republic. One is the Jedi Knight, and the other is a Sith something. Holiday Emily, Guild Wars 2 is on the list of games that we will eventually play. So Class Quest is in my plans. Oh, Heroes of Might and Magic. Isn't there a sale right now that GOG is doing? And I think Heroes of Might and Magic is on that sale. Let me watch. I don't know what server I'm playing on. Wait, I'm just trying to open my GOG here. It's fucking... Oh, it's updating quickly. I just quickly want to see. Because I'm pretty sure GOG is having a sale right now. And I think Heroes of Might and Magic is on the list of games that is for sale right now. Yeah. I was right. So, Caesar 3 is $3 right now. Leisure Suit Larry is $6 right now for those of you that's interested in that. Blade Runner, $10. And then you have the Might and Magic 6-pack limited edition for $10. The hell is the 6-pack limited edition? I don't know what the 6-pack is. 4 and 5, World of Zine. Oh my lord. Right, so there's... Yeah, you can buy those, I guess. Star Trek Judgment, Carmageddon. Oh my god. Dude. Carmageddon? I was a small boy when I played Carmageddon. I don't know why this game was good, but it was good. Just driving over people and killing them, slaughtering people. Oh my god. But yeah, you guys can go check out the GOG Galaxy thing. They're currently doing a sale there. If you're interested. I'm gonna have to go check what my what things I have in Swatter. Swatter. This one is on sale. Which one is it on sale, Netrex? There's my Steam. Don't worry, I'm not going to be playing games right now. I just need to see. I can't remember what my Sith is. So we'll see in a second. I don't know what class my Sith is. Sorry about that. Have you done the two-factor authentication? They give you 100 cash points things per month if you do. No, I haven't. So, this is a Jedi Knight, and this is Marauder, but I don't know what that means. What is the Marauder? I'm probably gonna have to... Darth Malgus. Where do you see? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's where I'm playing currently. It's fun as fuck, dude. I just got to a new planet on my Jedi, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story plays out there. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story plays out. Anyways, we're not going to be playing that now because we don't really have time for that. My power's going to go out before we can even get into the game. Plus, I want to play Final Fantasy first, and then we can play Star Wars The Old Republic. Because I feel like we've been wasting so much time, and we're still nowhere near done with Final Fantasy, dude. So we should probably start getting a move on with Final Fantasy. Because I at least want to be done with Endwalker by the time the next patch comes out. Or maybe the patch after that. And it's fucking current and happening. You know? Okay, no, rolling blackouts is the shit. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. It's really my government's way of telling us, South Africans, to touch grass. Alright, stream just died. If your stream died, just reload. Did anyone else have a stream outage? Because it seems my internet is once again fucking up. I'm having so much fun, man. We didn't have any internet problems for a while now, and now it's starting again. Oh my fucking joy, bro. I guess I'll just start with this again. Only a little lag. Okay, good stuff. As long as it wasn't like the biggest fuck up, it's fine. What were we talking about before I got sidetracked? When you get to Shadowbringers, you won't want to play or talk about anything else but it. You don't know me very well. Believe me, I can lose track and interest in something even if it's the greatest thing in the world. I get bored after a while and I'm like, I need to take a break. I need to go do something else. And I can do that with the best of them. I had a stutter a few times, but I found the faces you were stuck on amusing. Invalidator. I'm happy I could provide you with amusement. Oh, I was talking about the load shedding, the blackouts. So the blackouts really is Deadman Prop, you bastard. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. Did really appreciate that. 5 months in a row. Thank you. The blackouts really is my government's way of telling South Africans to touch grass. You know, it's like, you've had a busy day. You've worked really hard. We think it's time for you to go outside and enjoy nature for 2 hours. Or just I think my government has a problem with us watching too much TV or something. So they just switch off the power so you don't have to watch the TV. And plus, it's like a mini break when you're at work. I'm going to have to leave, but I'll remind you to read my Discord message and also offer to explain stuff if you decide to watch it on or off stream. All right, sorry, we'll probably watch it on stream, though. Do hotels also have blackouts or only residents? Everyone has blackouts unless you have your own solar system. So if you have your own batteries or your own solar system, you're fine. But everyone has blackouts. There's no... well, actually, that's a lie. Not everyone. A lot of the government ministers and stuff don't have blackouts. How do we know this? I have a friend who lives in the same neighborhood as almost all of the government ministers, and they've never had blackouts. My brother works for a guy who lives in the place called Star Park, which in English is Star Park. Now, Star Park is like the richest area in my hometown, and it's also the place where all of the municipal workers, like the municipal managers, live. And they've also never had load shedding. Like, not once. Ever since 2008, with load shedding going on, they've never had it. They don't get it. So, obviously, the government people are fine. They don't get load shedding. But the rest of us, we do get load shed like fuck. Hospitals, I'm not sure about. I don't think hospitals get load shedding. And if they do, they probably don't get affected because most of them will have generators, but I'm not entirely sure. Diesel imports, South Africa is still on coal, yes. MMO, yes, South Africa is on coal. We have one nuclear power plant. I wish my country would go full nuclear. But sadly, that's not going to happen. I think my country is talking about getting rid of coal, and they want to replace it with solar and wind, even though I can't think of a more bonkers thing to want to do. I'm not saying don't have solar and wind, have solar and wind as well, but then replace a lot of the coal plants with just nuclear power plants, which is cheaper, better, just all around safer. But no, they're probably not going to do that. So I don't know if we're ever going to get out of this problem. There's always a small benefit living near a hospital. It's always the first to have power restored. I'm just concerned for food preservation for the normal person. Nandy dandy, my government could not give two fucks about that. There's no way that would happen. I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of nuclear, and I believe the world's future in energy is nuclear. I think if we can fully switch from coal to nuclear, the world would be a much better place as a result of it. But of course, using things like thorium instead of cobalt would be an obvious thing. And then, of course, if we could figure out fusion, we're GG. If we could figure out fusion, it's good game. Thanks for playing. We got this. MMO, you don't really need to build it away from people. It's sort of just the thing is, people in their heads have this fear of nuclear power plants. So they sort of refuse to have nuclear power plants anywhere near them. But technically speaking, nuclear is the safest energy source we have in the world by a mile. I'm not even fucking lying to you. I'll show you. I'll prove this to you. All right. So here's the chart. Here's the chart. Mortality rate worldwide in 2012 by energy source. Coal, 100,000. Oil, 36,000. Natural gas, 4,000. Hydro, 1,400. Rooftop solar, 440. Wind, 150. Nuclear, 90. It is the cleanest energy we have. It's the safest energy we have. Even with 3 massive nuclear, like, meltdowns and issues, it had almost, like, the casualty rate was negligible. Even with the, Chernobyl accident and the Fukushima accident and the 3 Mile Island accident, almost no one died. Even with Chernobyl, which was like the biggest thing, there wasn't that many deaths. I think it came out to like 36 deaths at the end of it. People who died. And then obviously there was some complications as well, but that was more human error than it was actually the nuclear power plant. But I think nuclear and think Hiroshima, Chernobyl, etc., which is so long ago and it advanced so much more since then. I'm sorry, how can you say nuclear is safer than wind and solar? It may be better, but safer. Jolly Take is literally on the list here. Okay, so Jolly Take, you do know in order to produce solar panels, the mines that produce the materials that go into solar panels pollute a fuck ton. The mines, the lithium that we use, those mines are some of the biggest polluters in the world in order to get the lithium for the batteries that you use. So this includes everything. This graph isn't just looking at the amount of people that died. It's looking at the death of everything that goes into building these things and everything that goes into the effects of these things. The graph is right in front of you. How can you fucking argue? You might say, I don't agree with it, but then you're just disagreeing with statistics. And you're basically saying, I don't agree with this. I believe my own statistics that I just dreamt up last night while I was sleeping. But this is looking, if you have batteries in your solar system, if you don't have batteries in your solar system, you're a moron. Like, what do you do when the sun isn't shining at night? You just don't have electricity? Like, I wish that battery technology could catch up, because I would love to live in a society where solar and wind is basically what we have and it doesn't matter. But the fact is, if there's no wind, if there's no sun, you're not producing any energy. And if you can't store that energy, you're fucked. And right now, storing that energy isn't feasible. It is super expensive and just not practical, because you have to destroy so much environment just to get the battery centers operational that will store the energy so that you can use it when you need to use it. It's caught up, but lithium is scarce in resources. There is a hybrid system. It allows you to connect to your power distribution company. So in the day you generate electricity and on the night you consume from them. Yeah, but if they're only using solar, they're also not going to be able to give you any, right? So hybrid is fine, but still, on batteries used in solar energy and electrical cars, actually recyclable, so their carbon footprint is lower than petrol cars. The carbon footprint for the batteries that you use in a Tesla, for example, is you could drive an SUV, full petrol SUV, for a year before you equal the carbon footprint of a Tesla in terms of the production that went into actually building the Tesla. Because those lithium mines really do pollute a fuck ton. Now, in the long run, because obviously you're going to drive the Tesla for a lot longer than you're going to drive the SUV. So in the long run, the SUV still comes out ahead. Oh, the Tesla comes out ahead. Because after that first year, you're driving your Tesla. You're obviously not buying new batteries, right? So it is a win, but it's not like there's no pollution, which was the point. Because Jolly Take said, how can you justify that these things are safer? And it's like, well, of course they're safer, because people just assume that nuclear or solar and wind has 0 casualties, which is not true. In fact, if we were to look at the casualties on the environment, solar and wind actually fucking destroy the environment. Like, much more, like, their nuclear would almost be 0. Its environmental impact is basically 0. Because it has no emissions. It's not emitting anything. And the process of actually getting nuclear materials is quite easy and really doesn't pollute much. So unless some major tragedy happens, nuclear is very safe. But solar farms, in order to put solar farms up, you destroy so much environment. So forests or wetlands or grasslands, something needs to be destroyed because those farms need to be massive, right? And wind farms kill bird populations by the millions. I think it's estimated that 1.5 million birds die every single year thanks to the wind farms that we have right now. So, yes, you're trying to get cleaner, but by getting cleaner, you're also destroying a lot of the environment. So the fact is, humans are not where we need to be yet. The future we need to move to, and the future that I hope we will eventually get to, is one where we live in complete and utter equilibrium to our society or to our environment, where we put as much into the system as we get out of it. Because right now, humans really is, we take a lot more out of our systems than what we actually put into it. The ideas are good, where we are just not there yet technologically. The thing is, Nandian, you're very, very correct there. The ideas are amazing, but we aren't there yet. You are absolutely correct. We aren't there yet. The thing is, that doesn't mean we give up. We're on the right track. We're definitely getting there. And we have to keep investing. We have to keep researching, and we have to keep discovering, and we have to keep innovation up. But we're not there yet. So when countries go, oh, we're going to switch fully to solar and wind, it's like, why? The technology isn't there yet. It's fine if you start planning for it. If you start putting things into place that will allow you to switch in 50 or 100 years, go for it. But in the short to medium term, you need something that can sort of produce electricity whilst not destroying the environment, and that's where nuclear comes in. So the perfect system, in my opinion, would be one that is a merger between nuclear and wind and solar, where you use nuclear power for the shortfall and for all of your major sort of factories and stuff that need power all day long. And then wind and solar you use for homes, you use for retail, things like that. That, in my opinion, would be the perfect system for now. There will never be a truly clean energy. There is no free lunch. Dacheto, thanks for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Denmark estimated that their wind farms generate 32 tons of biomatter per year. Read dead animals and insects. That's just tiny Denmark. Well, yeah, but we are destroying things. That's the problem with human beings, right? We destroy things. I was listening to this the other day. Trying to remember. Because the guy actually made a really good, a point that I didn't even know. Trying to remember what he was talking about. Oh, bees. So, you all have heard how we need to save the bees, right? And how we need to save the bees because, honey and also the job that bees do. Did you know that the honeybee is not endangered? Like, the bee that everyone cares about, the honeybee, is actually the one bee that no one should care about. We have too many honeybees. Way too many. We have fuck tons of them because people farm honey. So those populations are actually very healthy. In fact, there's more honeybees now than there's ever been in the history of the world. The bees that are actually dying off are all of the other bee species, the ones that we actually genuinely need, right? Because these are bees that aren't necessarily cool, and also because not all bees are good for all plants, because bees are the ones that pick up the pollen, and the pollen then goes as they fly, right? The issue is that those bee numbers are dwindling, but no one gives a fuck about those bees. And when you read in the media, you read the news articles, they're just talking about the honeybee and how we should save the honeybee. And say, well, the honeybee doesn't need shit. It's good. It's all those bees that no one gives a fuck about because they don't give us honey those are the ones that's dying out, and those happen to also be the ones that no one cares about. None of the programs that we run has anything to do with it. Most of the conservation efforts goes towards honeybees, which don't need conservation in the first place. Human beings just, it's so much better. Like, we find something that we can easily do to make us feel good about stuff, and then we just do that. Whether it matters and whether it actually needs to be done, that's of no concern. As long as we can feel good about it, right? That are dying, especially the ones in the tropics. Yeah. The wild bee, the bumblebees matter. The honeybee's knees is big. I like honey, though. Honey is good, bro. I do something that I've recently started doing is steak and honey. Like, after you've cooked your steak, right? Perfect medium rare. You just drizzle a little bit of honey on top of it. Because it's also a natural food source, so I don't mind eating it. Just a little bit of honey on top of your steak. Bro, you have, like, if you've never done that before, do yourself a favor. It is fucking fantastic. If you've never done that before, of course. Who puts honey on steak? Dude, have you never heard of sweet and salty mixtures? Sugar on Meats is a classic. Don't diss it, Julian. King Julian just doesn't know what good food is, so don't judge him. The dude's from Australia. They just eat kangaroo meat over there, bro. Necro, I've used barbecue sauce. Sweet and salty mixtures, huh? Exactly, Emily. Exactly. No, it's good. It is fucking fantastic. Like, the saltiness of the steak with just the... Because honey isn't that sweet. Which means you're just getting a slight bit of sweetness. Not too much. Just a slight aftertaste of sweetness. Koala bear ass. I wouldn't put it past them. Neither do you, you bunny chowless man. Yeah, fuck bunny chow, dude. No one likes bunny chow. Honey and mayonnaise and mustard makes the best combo. Mayonnaise and mustard? I don't know about that. I guess. Although honey, ketchup, and mustard, I think would make a better mix. I think it would be a better mix. I bought my niece some biltong yesterday. She was very excited as she loves biltong. Your niece knows what the fuck is up. If you've never had biltong, you don't know what you're missing. Like, you're living a lie if you've never had biltong. In that direction I can't follow. Evans, what direction? Fucking honey and mayo? Dude, okay, so if you did mayo, ketchup, and mustard, you would get a pretty good burger sauce, right? So if you just add a little bit of honey, that just adds a little bit of sweetness to an otherwise, I think, pretty decent burger sauce. You could do that. I don't see why that would be wrong. Some variables of chorizo has sugar in it. Sweet meats are so good. Dude, the butchery just close to my house, they actually, I have to try this, but they have dried chorizo. Like, dried chorizo sausage. I still need to try that. It's like this thick piece of dried sausage, and it's chorizo meat and dried. Gonna be fucking glorious. Because chorizo is pretty good. What is chimichurri? I don't know what the hell that is. Kewpie mayo, Japanese mayo, has sugar in it. Yeah, I've never had Japanese mayo because in South Africa, Japanese mayo is crazy expensive. You could buy like 5 jugs of normal mayo for the price of 1 small bottle of Japanese mayo. So I've never bought Japanese mayo, even though people have told me it's really good. I've never tried it. Yeah, import costs almost certainly. That's my country. Welcome to South Africa. It is what it is. So, I quickly have... I have a video that I want to watch. And I'm probably going to piss a lot of you off with wanting to watch this video. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to be like, dude, get the fuck off. We don't want to watch this. But we kind of have to watch this. We don't really have a choice. So you're probably going to have to just strap in for this one. Okay, so just the title of this video. Just the title of this video. More Blizzard lies. They keep getting worse. This is a Tali rant from 3 days ago. 4 days ago. Let's see what Taliesin has to say here. Dude, Taliesin is turning on Blizzard hard. I wonder why.
I've been meaning to talk about this since the start of the stream because fuck Blizzard. Fuck Bobby Kotick. Fuck everything about them. Fuck them, fuck them. Up
Easy.
the bum. But not in a good way. This is some fucking bullshit. Now, oh my god, we've had such good news from Blizzard recently, right? Blizzard have been winning recently, right? With them saying that they will honor the union that Raven set up, which was a massive deal for gaming in the United States, right? The first fucking union, proper union in a mainstream AAA studio under the fucking Activision Blizzard umbrella. So progressive, so brilliant. And then you have Microsoft saying that they would honor that after the takeover. Amazing news, and that they would respect the union and recognize it. Fantastic. You've seen unions sprouting out in other game studios ever since. It's like fantastic. There is a ball, like a snowball of unionizing energy rolling down the hill right now across the games industry in the United States, and it came from Activision Blizzard. It started in Activision Blizzard because Activision...
Actually, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think the first gaming studio that had talks of unionization was actually an EA studio in Canada. I think that was the first studio that wanted unionization. It might be that Blizzard's happened faster because of all the lawsuits, and they were obviously far more sort of willing to give into those demands. There's also been talk about it happening in Ubisoft for a really long time. So I don't specifically think it was Blizzard first, but yeah, you know, it's not the end of the world, I think.
Blizzard have been so shit and so bad that they've actually managed to make America embrace unionization and make the games industry embrace unionization. That's how shit Activision Blizzard have been. And it's fantastic. It's been brilliant to see. So let's go back to the shit stuff that made it all happen, because Blizzard decided to be really shit about it again. In an SEC filing released today, Activision Blizzard has shared that the board of directors...
I don't share Taliesin's love for unions. Not because I don't like the concept of unions, because I do, actually. I don't have a problem with unions at all. And that might surprise you. I think Akelon, but as a capitalist, shouldn't you be against unions? Not at all. In a true capitalist market, the worker must have the ability to say no when they don't agree with things. And oftentimes, if you're just one worker, the company can just fire you. So being able to band together, it's the same as, do consumers have the right to protect themselves in a capitalist market? Of course, they have to. So I'm as much for unionization as I am for consumer protection agencies that protect the consumer against scumbag practices, because it means consumers are sort of banding together to force change. I have no problem with that. My issue is that modern day unions, at least as they are in South Africa, and I'm assuming if it's like that in South Africa, it's probably like that everywhere in the world. Most of those unions are businesses where the people, the suits that work for the union, want to make money. And they make their money by making themselves useful. And more often than not, they don't really care about the amount of money that people who strike lose, as long as they get paid because they're useful. It's been well documented that whenever you go on strike and refuse to work, you actually lose money. In South Africa, at least, people tend to lose crazy amounts of money because you don't get paid if you go on strike. As soon as you go on strike, there's no pay because you're not working. And then you get a raise of, say, 2-3%. But if you take the amount of money that you lost, and then you take the amount of money that you're going to make over the next 2 years because of the 2%, 3% increase, you still lost. You're not going to make back the money that you had already lost. That money is gone. So most unions, in my opinion, are businesses that just want to make money, and I don't think they care much, if at all, about the actual workers that work there. But technically, I have no problem with unionization.
And its Workplace Responsibility Committee of Independent Directors have concluded there is no evidence to suggest that Activision Blizzard's senior executives ever intentionally ignored or attempted to downplay the instances of gender harassment that occurred and were reported, which is some fucking bullshit, frankly. Now, a little bit of
I don't agree with Taliesin here at all. We've done this. I've discussed this. It is clear that, yeah, Blizzard found no problems. I think Taliesin is just overreacting here, really. Bobby Kotick wouldn't lie. I am being sarcastic, just FYI. You wouldn't believe it. In the video that I did where I covered this issue, there were people genuinely angry in the comment section that I was defending Blizzard. Not realizing that me saying Blizzard is the most trusted name in video games, Bobby Kotick is obviously an honest and pure man. According to them, that was not ridiculous enough of a statement to be sarcastic. Somehow people did not catch that is sarcasm. And I find myself clean as fuck. Yeah, I did the investigations, and according to all my numbers, I am the biggest content creator on Twitch. I looked into it myself. I have the investigation documents right here, and they conclude that I'm the biggest content creator on Twitch.
background on this. For anyone who doesn't know, and anyone who isn't in the know, last year, about this time last year, wasn't it? There came to light a case brought from the state of California against Activision Blizzard for harassment and discrimination. It was a case that they'd been building for years.
Evans.
It had multiple
Fuck you,
corroborated
by the way,
testimonies
for calling me fat.
from people that work for Blizzard that alleged sexual misconduct, harassment, racism, discrimination in the workplace, much of which had been kept under wraps through arbitration.
I just want to say, when you get to a point where Taliesin criticizes you as a company, you fucked up. Because Taliesin rarely, if ever, criticizes Blizzard Entertainment. I have heard this man defend the cash shop in World of Warcraft, bro. Defend it. Say that it's absolutely okay. So if Taliesin turns against Blizzard, Blizzard needs to know that they have done something wrong. Something is not working the way that it's supposed to work.
Which is one of the most evil things that fucking exists in American employment. They fucking love arbitration. Arbitration being the thing where any problems you have in your workplace, even stuff which is illegal, kind of has to go through your employer rather than any outside third-party judiciary, basically.
It's not technically true, though. Once again, I hate to be the guy to pause and sort of correct it. So arbitration, in many cases, are actually used to save money, not just for the company, but for the employees. Taking someone to court is incredibly expensive. And if an employee had a problem with a company and they had to take that company to court, it would cost that employee thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So arbitration in good faith. So if we're talking good faith arbitration, you get an arbiter, which is usually a retired judge. So it is someone that was a judge, retired, and then became an arbiter that will listen. So it's an independent person that listens to both sides and then makes a legal judgment based on the case. It's faster. It tends to usually, if done in good faith, it tends to lead to much faster outcomes. So if you are an employee that believes that you've been underpaid or believe that, you suffered from something, it's much quicker. It can take weeks instead of months or years for a case to actually get taken to court. So it's not obvious that arbitration by itself is done to protect a company. It's done to protect a company, but then also to protect employees so that they don't actually go bankrupt trying to fight their own cases. Or, just there's so much that goes into it. Now, obviously, I do say in good faith because with the corporatist world being the way that it is these days, when's the last time you saw a company operate in good faith? Like, when's the last time you saw a corporation actually do something in good faith? So yeah, most of them nowadays do use the arbitration system as a way to effectively ensure that they don't ever get found guilty. But that's not, like, you have to be more precise. You can't just throw out that this is arbitration, because that's not actually why a lot of companies push for arbitration. The origins of arbitration is actually not an evil thing.
And that even cases of harassment and discrimination can be dealt with by your employer first and kept under wraps by your employer and under NDA, and also
Good faith equals money. They normally use their own lawyers. Thorberg, yeah, but this is why I said you have to be. It has to be in good faith. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I don't know that this was what the video was about. We already covered this, so it's just boring to cover it now. I was hoping that it was actually Taliesin being angry about something else, like maybe something a little bit more recent, something that we didn't know about. But since it's basically just Taliesin getting angry about the same shit that I got angry at, I don't think we need to watch it. I think it's fine. Fuck, dude. Where's the good reactions? Where's the good stuff? Why is there no good stuff to actually react to? Patlin, how you doing? Every day I discover something new in this game. What did you discover? How did you what? I don't know what they discovered here. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck they discovered there, but okay. We're the team behind Overwatch 2, which will be going into early access on October 4th, 2022. Ask us almost anything. What do you mean going into early access? Have you checked the videos in your Discord, Echo? Yeah, I do. But there's only like half an hour left for the stream, so can't really get into a massive reaction video here. I think there is no good reaction because people are simply used to Blizz being like this. Therefore, they can't even pretend to be disgusted with it. It has become the norm, sadly. To get rant and control review. I can't watch videos right now because my power is going out soon. So I don't want to get into a massive reaction video that we then have to end mid-reaction because, you know, the power's gone out. You can talk down that military veteran in that quest line to give up... Oh, didn't you know that? Did you guys not know that you could talk down the military veteran? Because, yeah, you can actually do that. I've done it both ways. I've done the one where you fight him and just kill him. I've done the one where he hands it over, and then he kills himself later. So I've done all of them. The game has a lot of small things because of my phone provider. Wait, what? Won't be able to play Overwatch 2 because of my phone provider. What the Found out today Overwatch 2 will require mobile mobile authentication. The same one WoW requires to make group listings. I use Cricket because it's the most cost-effective provider for my family, but it doesn't work with Blizzard mobile authentication. Just thought it was funny. I'm not going to be able to play a video game because Blizz doesn't support my mobile provider. I can't use... Wait, what? If your phone has the Android store, how in the fuck does that have anything to do with your mobile provider? Because I'm fairly like the Blizzard mobile authenticator works on all South African mobile operators. Load shedding and echoes, so you can have your normal streams again. I don't know, King Julian. What kind of question is that? If I knew when load shedding was going to end, I'd be planning for it. There's no way to know. They just let you know when it starts, usually an hour or two before, and then they tell you, oh, it's done now. It can happen anywhere. Can someone tell me what's going on here? This was right after completing the quest of In the Eyes of God and Men in Coerthas on Midgard's summer server at around 1:50 a.m. Not sure if they were bots, but they were just standing there all wearing the same thing. What exactly is going on here? Is it just bots? What are they waiting for? Is there something that like spawns there? Maybe it's broken. She broke the bots. You can't say, of course it's bots. Foul Smoke, there are people that do stupid things just for being stupid. So you can't just say when Bay is mad at you. Oh, yeah. Judy does get mad at you quite often. This is true. Although in this place where they're standing now, Judy shouldn't be angry at all. It seems like he's close to the river part of it, where Judy is probably going to go fucky. They have to wait to execute the command. If they spam it, they'll get caught. Oh my god. Unanimously approves Elon Musk's $44 billion Twitter takeover bid. Oh, shit. Isn't this old news? Didn't the board already approve it? I remember the board actually approving it like a month ago. Or am I missing something? Have you played Dragon's Dogma 1? It's got a very good story. No, I haven't. But isn't Dragon's Dogma only available on console? When you come up with an interesting idea, start making the game and find out that something similar has already been made. Too soon, executives. You have released me too soon. It's on PC. 44 billion is much more than 15 million, right? Well, yeah. What's your point, Aureus? What exactly is the point that you're trying to make there, though? Wait, Final Fantasy 16 will not be open world, seeks M rating. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Final Fantasy XVI will not be an open world game, and according to a recent interview, the developers at Square Enix are targeting an M rating for the game. There's also just a slew of Yoshi P interviews out there that have revealed a ton of new details about Final Fantasy XVI, so let's break it all down. Famed Square Enix and Final Fantasy producer/director Naoki Yoshida told IGN
Yoshi P, bro!
their extensive user research that many of the younger generation of gamers have never played a Final Fantasy or don't have any interest in the series. To create a game that might excite and resonate not only with our core fans, but also with that new generation, we played a lot of games ourselves, and so yes, in Final Fantasy XVI, you'll find inspiration from recent AAA open world RPGs. But then he added, however, to bring a story that feels like it spans an entire globe and beyond, we decided to avoid an open world design that limits us to a single open world space, and instead focuses on independent area-based game design that can give players a better feel of a truly global scale.
I don't mind this at all. Listen, who needs $15 million? Dude, we all need $15 million. I don't mind this. Personally, I'm not a fan most of the time about open world games. And the reason for it is almost always open world games is just an excuse for horrible fucking content. Where basically the game is just rinse and repeat bullshit. So if you can do area-based gaming with a great story, great narrative, and the narrative is pushed in the area, 100% okay with that. I don't even care about it not being open world. It hurts me on an existential level that Final Fantasy isn't a household name anymore. I'm glad to see the series evolve. Witcher 3 isn't real open world. The areas are just humongous. But it seems unfathomable to me that Final Fantasy just isn't a thing for younger people. So, MMO, you are actually correct there. Witcher 3 is open world insofar as all of the continents that you go to is open world. But remember that there are 3 different continents in the game, right? There's your starting area. Then you move over, I can't remember the names here, but then you move over to where most of the game is going to take place. And then you have Skellig, which is also a massive, massive area, but it is a different area. And there are loading screens from one side to the other. So it isn't. It is just hubs. That's a good fucking word for it, Crash the Fool. It's sort of like hub games. And I think if Final Fantasy 16 can land that, that's perfect. And as for it not being a household name anymore, didn't Final Fantasy 15 suck? I feel like the biggest problem for Final Fantasy is that every single one of the Final Fantasy games is so varied and different that they kind of go from either being incredibly good to being incredibly bad, depending on who made the game and depending on the setting of the game, depending on the story that they chose to push. This makes it very hard for the game to actually be a household name. Because depending on when you come of age and when you start playing games, the first Final Fantasy that you play that launches when you are old enough to play it might be 15. In which case, fuck, right? You're kind of just not going to play it then.
It's a shocking yet somewhat refreshing decision, considering it seems like every new single-player game announced these days has to be open world. Or perhaps it's not so shocking, considering Final Fantasy 15 took a swing at the open world format and fell a little short. While filled with some really interesting ideas about how to implement an open world in a Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 15's open world did receive a lot of criticism for being empty and filled with repetitive side quests. Basically the same.
That literally there, what Final Fantasy 15 suffered from is exactly what I hate about open worlds. Most of the world becomes boring, just lackluster with terrible content.
Problem that pretty much every open world game faces. So it sounds like with Final Fantasy 16, Square Enix wants to play more to the series' strengths this time around, but that doesn't mean they aren't willing to make some big changes. In a separate interview with GameSpot, Yoshida discussed creative setbacks that come up when making a game and trying to adhere to a specific rating. Specifically, he said, when trying to tell a story with difficult adult themes, these ratings can end up becoming somewhat of a hindrance, and you find yourself changing things that you wanted to do in the game based on that rating. You wanted to show something, but because you have a certain rating that you need to go to, you need to move the camera away. And that ends up making the entire experience feel a little bit cheaper. Now,
you need to move the camera away. If you want to show some titties on screen and you don't have rating M, you can't show titties on screen, right? So is Yoshi P telling us that we're finally gonna get the vulgar and disgustingly real Final Fantasy that we've always wanted? Is that what Yoshi P is telling us here? Spicy. Exactly, Kane. I think Witcher 3 got it right. Elden Ring 2. Oh yeah, there are games that do it perfect, but they are few and far between.
Now note that most every Final Fantasy game and a majority of Square Enix's catalog has a T for teen or E for everyone rating. As of right now, PEGI, the group who regulates ratings in the EU, has Final Fantasy 16 down as a provisional 18, which is roughly the equivalent to M for mature audiences in the States. The official ESRB rating is still pending.
They're
but
getting
based on
it,
the
bro.
trailers shown so far and what the game's developers have said, it's very likely to be an M. As far as I know,
They're getting
there
it,
are
bro.
only 2 Final Fantasy
We're getting Minfilia titties. Oh, yeah. We're getting Minfilia titties, bro. It's happening. It's finally fucking happening. Shiva and Garuda, Booba, sign me up. Just an FYI, Dragon's Dogma is on Steam, and at least for me, is currently showing us 84% off for next hour and 40 minutes. Jesus, Chase. I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
games with an M rating. The
Thanks for letting me
first is
know.
Final Fantasy Zero Type, which was released on PSP back in 2011, and the other is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, which came out earlier this year. That means that Final Fantasy 16 will be the first mainline Final Fantasy game to have an M rating and be, the first to kind of target a more mature audience, moving away from the broader T or E demographic. Yoshida went on in the GameSpot interview to explain this new direction, saying, "This time, to make sure that we could tell the story that we wanted in the way that we wanted to, we decided to pursue a mature rating in most of the regions that will be releasing the game." Yoshida goes on, "This is not because we simply wanted to make the game more violent or the game more explicit. This is because we felt it was necessary to allow us to explore those more mature themes that the game tackles." And fair enough.
I love the fact that it's Yoshi P saying it because you can believe the guy when he says something like that. And that's what you need, right? Don't make a game just to make the game violent. But if the story, this is how you know that this story is going to be off the